Okay, so I hope you've had a go of these first. I'm going to do the answers for this page and probably the next page too. So let's go through. Again, these are just composite solids, so you've just got to make sure that you're doing the area of the face first. On these ones, they're shaded, so it makes it a little bit easier. Some of them are addition, some of them are subtraction. So these are kind of that next level up question. Okay, so I'm going to just work through them, and hopefully you've already had a go and you can check your work. So having a look here, I'm going to make this into two rectangles. You can do it two different ways. I'm going to choose to make my line here, and I'm going to make this number 1 and this number 2. So area 1 is going to be this rectangle here, which goes across there and all the way up here. So I can see that the side is 12, so it's going to be 12 times, and I need to work out what this little bit here is. So up here I've got this distance here is 12 and this distance here is 10, so I know that that's 2. So it's going to be 12 times 2. So 12 times 2 gives me 24 centimeters squared. Then area 2 is the second rectangle up the top there. So it's going to be, I will do it in a different color. So it's going to be 10. And again, I can see that I need to work this part out. If this side is 12 and this side is 10, that's going to be 2 again. So that's going to be 10 times 2 this time, which will give me 20 centimeters squared. So my total area is going to be 24 plus 20, which will give me 44 centimeters squared. So my volume will be the area times height, the area being 44, and my height is going to be the depth of the prism. Okay, so it's that how far back does it go? Okay, so that's going to be the 5 centimeters. So we're going to times that by 5. So 44 times 5 is going to give me 220 centimeters cubed. Okay, so just one bit at a time. All right, let's have a look here. I'm going to split this one into two. So I've got a rectangle and a triangle. So area 1 is going to be my rectangle. I can see that it's 30 by 18. That's nice and easy. 30 by 18. And remember how I always say to you, even if you can't do the whole thing, just do what you can. Like you can all find the area of a rectangle. So that's 540 millimeters squared. Okay, area 2 is going to be my triangle. So I know it's a half times base times height. So I'm going to find those details. So I've got a half times now my base of my triangle. Here's my triangle. Here's my base. So the base is going to be 30 millimeters, and we want that perpendicular height, which you can see they've given you over here, which is 8. So it's going to be a half times our base, 30 times by 8, which is our height. So if we go, that's 15 times 8. That's going to give us 120 millimeters squared. Okay, so our area will be 540 plus 120. So that will give us, what's that, 5, that's 660 millimeters squared. Volume is our area times height. So it's going to be 660, which is our area. Now our height on this one, again, that's our depth of our prism, is going to be 17 millimeters. So we're going to go by 17. So 660 times 17 equals, and now if you guys pick up any mistakes that I make, you need to let me know too so I can pass that on. So that's 11,220 millimeters cubed. There we go. Okay, that's number 2 done. All right, here we have a rectangle face, this rectangle face here, and we have a square taken out of it. So here we're going to need to do a subtraction with these ones. Okay, so let's have a look. All right, so area 1 is the big one, area 2 is the little one. So area 1 is our rectangle. Now we want the big, so it's going to be this by this. Or actually, let's do it on the other side there because we've got some measurements. We've got 30 there, And down here, oh, look, it's 30 as well. So it's actually a cube. So 30 times 30, which is going to give us 900 meters squared. And area 2 is going to be 10 times 10, which is 100 meters squared. So our area is going to be 900 take away 100, which will give us 800 meters squared. Now, guys, just so you know, this is not the only way to work it out. There is other ways that you can work out this, and if you come up with another way, that's totally fine. I'm just giving you the basic method. Okay, so our area is 800. Our depth on this one goes back in our prism by 30 meters. So we're going to multiply that by 30, which is going to give us 800 times 30, which just gives us 24,000 meters cubed. Okay. The other way you could do that is recognize that it's a cube. So you could do 30 cubed and then take away the 10 times 10 times 30. But again, I don't want you to do that unless you understand what I just said. Okay, let's go to the two at the bottom. All right, again, this one here, we've got a rectangle. Actually, it looks like a square. Take away a triangle. Okay, so let's do that first. So area 1 is that rectangle, square, 40 by 40. So 40 times 40, which is going to give us 1600 millimeters squared. Area 2 is our triangle, half times base times height. So let's times our base, 15, times our height, perpendicular height, they've given it to us over here, times 17. So a half times 15 times 17, okay, it gives us 127.5 millimeters squared. Okay, so to find out this area of this section here, we're going to do a subtraction. So 1600 take away 127.5. So 1600 take away 127.5. So we get 1472.5 millimeters squared. So volume equals area times height. So it will be 1472.5 multiplied by, what's our depth here? So it's going to be that one there, which is 20. Okay, so multiply by 20 times by 20 equals 29,450 millimeters cubed. Okay, last one over here is a triangle and what do we got there? A square. So 1 and 2. So area 1, nice and easy. These lines tell me that it's a square, so it's 4 times 4, which is 16 meters squared. Area 2, half base times height. So half times now my base. This tells me here that this is 1. This tells me here this is 1. And remember that was a square, so that must be 4. So my base is going to be 4 plus 1 plus 1, so it'll be 6. And my perpendicular height, they've actually given me back here, which is 1.5. Okay, so we're going to go a half times 6, which is 3, times 1.5, gives us 4.5 meters squared. So area equals 16 plus 4.5. What's that? 20.5 meters squared. Volume equals area times height. So we've got 20.5 times, and our height in this one, again, it's the depth of that line there. Oh, that's bright. A 4. Okay, so times by 4, which will give us, where are we? 20.5 times 4, 82 meters cubed. Okay, so that's that page. Hopefully you did okay with those. All right, these ones here are volumes of composite circles. So here you're going to get some rectangles and some other stuff in there as well. I don't particularly like the boxes that they use, so I'm probably going to ask you not to do question 1. You can do it if you want to. All right, let's go on to question 2. So we have 2 volumes. They've already written them out for us. Volume 1, volume 2. So this time, because they are separate volumes, they've worked them out, the volume, and then added the volumes together. So we can do it that way this time, just to show you a different way. So they've done volume 1 as a cylinder. They've got pi r squared times the h. So that's area times height. So in this case, we just need our height, which we've got is 23, and our r, which is 35 divided by 2, which will give us 17.5. So for this volume here, we're doing the whole thing at once, is pi times 17.5 squared times by the height, which is 23. Okay, so we're going to go pi times 17.5 squared times 23 equals. So that one's 22128.6. So what are the units, did they say at the top? Centimeters. Centimeters cubed. Now we're just doing the volume of the cube, and remember it's the side cubed, so it's 12 cubed, which gives us 12 cubed is 1,728 centimeters cubed. So the total volume, we'll be adding those together, 22128.6 plus 1728, which will give us plus 22128.6, 23856.6 centimeters cubed. Okay, so same deal here. You've got a square and then a semicircle. So we'll do what they've done. We'll find the two volumes and then add them together. So volume 1 we'll do as the rectangular prism or the square prism here. So it's area times height, remember? So the area of this face is going to be 4 times 4, 4 times 4. And then the volume part of that is going to be times by the 15. So area times height. So it's 4 times 4 times 15, which is 240 centimeters cubed. The second volume is going to be half of that cylinder. So remember the volume for the cylinder, or half the cylinder, was a half times pi times the radius squared and then times by the height. So let's do that. So if we go a half times pi, our radius, well, let's work out our radius now. So, oops, wrong button, sorry. So if that's 4 there, that's 4 there, that's 4 there. So it means it's 4, 4, and 4, so it'll be 12. So half of that's going to be 6. So 6 squared times by a height, which is the same as the last one, which is 15. Okay, so 0.5 times pi times 6 squared times 15 equals, so we get 848.2. So volume is going to be 240 plus 848.2. So we get 1088.2, what's that, centimeters cubed. Okay. All right, so there's some harder ones here as well. Let's go through and have a look. So there's 3 shapes on this one. So we have a quadrant here, we have a rectangle here, and we have a triangle here. So I'm going to do it the way we did it before. I'm just going to do the areas. No, we'll do the volumes. That's okay. So volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. Probably shouldn't have done it in that order, but that'll do. Okay, so volume 1, remember it's a quarter of a circle. So a quarter times pi times r squared times the height for the volume. So it's a quarter times pi times our r, which is 12, because it's a quarter of a circle, 12 squared times by our height, which is going to be 5, the prism. Okay, so quarter times pi times 12 squared times by 5 equals, and we get 565.5 centimeters cubed. Then on this one, okay, so we've got a rectangle this time. So we can see that this is 6 across here, and this part here, remember, it's the same as our radius, so it's going to be 12. So 6 times 12 is our rectangle, times by 5, which is our height. So 6 times 12 times 5, or I should say our depth of our prism. So 360 centimeters cubed. That one's nice and easy. The next one is the triangle. Remember, base times height. So base and height is where we find that perpendicular. So we can see that one's 15, and again that one's 12. So it's going to be a half times 15 times 12, and then we're going to multiply that by the 5, which is the depth of our prism. So a half times 15 times 12 times 5 equals, and we get 450 centimeters cubed, and then we need to add them all together. So we get volume equals 565.5 plus 450 plus 360 equals 565.5 plus 450 plus 360 equals 137550 centimeters cubed. Okay, so it's just doing one piece at a time. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to do the other half of this in a separate video. Okay, thanks. Bye.